Oh. Oh, whoops. Fucking forgot to actually put in easy mode modpack files. Okay. Won't be that hard to do. Replace all the files. Yes, yes, yes. And there we go. And now we're good to go. Oh yeah, it's a wonderful start. See, the issue was that I remembered to put in the easy mode mod pack, like DLL, but that just does stuff to the character. It doesn't actually, like, change, like, map files or anything or spawns. Lovely title screen, huh? I actually think that title screen, the character select specifically, isn't up to date exactly. I don't know. There's lots of stuff that what? 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 Hmm. Okay, one more second. Really shouldn't be a problem at this point. The reason there is a problem is because something isn't right. Fucking this, paste this in, replace the file in the destination. Clear mod data, check some fix, dev tools, yes, easy mode mod pack. Lycanthrope, slug senses. Apply mods. It's a shame when the mod developer can't even install their own mod correctly. Oh my god, it has a Zuru? Oh, I'm so happy. I still need to watch, like, last episode. Yeah, this is up to date now. By the way, one thing before I move on, the Outlaw is not the final name. That is getting changed. Another mod developer reached out to me and they said they already had dibs on the Outlaw as a name. So I still gotta find some new name to name my custom Slugcat here. Which is a shame, because I quite like the Outlaw as a name. So the main thing that I want to do today is I want to visit mostly like memory crypts and Five Pebbles. Is there are spawn changes that have been made there that I very much want to see how they do and how it goes. It's actually going to be better for me if I don't skip this food. Be able to get to industrial complex a lot faster that way. I love the headband. The headband is my favorite part about what we've been doing. Which, by the way, you might notice that it glitches out every so often when we go to a new screen. Very much in development, very much work in progress. That part of the mod is being done by Topicular. A small change that you can note just from here is that we gave people a extra storage food slot. I didn't want to, like, remove, like, food difficulty to a certain degree. I feel like Survivor has, like, a really good amount of like food and then extra slots. But just giving one an extra slot felt pretty good. And we didn't want to give people monk's food because that's just way too easy. I feel like you skip a lot of what makes Brain World doing that. Your 2 favorite places in the game? Well, hopefully this mod changes that. As far as like being your 2 least favorite areas in the game. Shaded Citadel, Memory Crypts, and the Leg, Overhang. Well, not so much Overhang. And 5 Pebbles have seen major changes in Easy Mode Modpack. So that's the cool, like, lore reason, actually, behind the headband that I came up with. You know, the idea behind this character having the red headband is that they took one of the ribbons off of an exploding spear. Just wore it for themselves. Oh, I just remembered. There is a mod that Topicular just came out with the other day that I'm actually very interested in checking out. They only released it on the Discord so far, and it is a mod that makes the more complicated moves a lot easier to do. Like backflip and whatnot. Damn it. Because backflip and belly sliding is something that I've always kind of struggled with just on my own. So having a mod that just gives those like a macro button sounds like a pretty cool thing to me. You wish someone made a mod where you can play as other creatures. So there is a very distinct reason why that hasn't really happened, and that's because it's complicated for a lot of reasons. Like, one of the things that people always request of modders is they want a mod... a mod made for playing as a lizard. And the problem with that is twofold. Number one, it's hard to do. Number two, if you play as a lizard, then you can't actually, like, reach, like, a lot of areas that Slugcat is designed to be able to reach. Like, it's not only a character mod, but it is also a world mod. And world mods are some of the hardest things to make because Rain World is a huge game. I'm glad, Ool. The biggest thing that this mod does, in my opinion, that's noticeable is just combining all 3 Slugcats into one character. So we've got dual wielding from Hunter. We have the nice stuff from Monk, like we've got the Shade Citadel Light. And most of the spawns and most of the lore are taken, well, all of it, honestly. All the spawns and all the lore is taken from Survivor. Let's sleep and then open that popcorn plant. And anytime that there was something that I viewed as just, like, completely okay, it just wasn't changed. For example, like, spawns and level design in Outskirts and Industrial Complex have not been changed in the slightest. It is in fact the same for Monk, where you only need the proper karma once in order to pass a gate. So the way the mod will work is that anything that is nice, anything that can be considered like a quality of life thing, or anything that makes Rain World like easier, it's included. I've even thought about, like, there are a couple of shelters that I think are broken for Survivor, which we haven't quite figured out, like, where those are and how that works, but I want to make those shelters not broken. And yeah, as you can see, now we can pass by this gate whenever we want, now that it's permanently open. Shoreline I did very few things to. I actually removed a possible vulture spawn. Why am I doing that? I'm full on food. Fight me. Fight me! Fight me! I'm down here. I think that I decided not to allow carnivore to happen. So you have dual wielding, but you don't have the carnivore ability from Hunter. And I think that's a fair trade-off. That makes it to where you still have, like, very much reason to play Hunter. Duly noted, Ool. Thank you very much. That's very, very much one of the things that I want to check out are any shelters that are broken. Let me see, are we already at highest karma? We are not. Spawn rates are at Survivor. See, it's kind of interesting because we didn't make the game as easy as possible. There are very much things that I do think are worth having from Monk, but as for the spawns, I just feel like Survivor is like the best way of playing the game, you know, in a lot of ways. So taking his spawns from there and using that as the template made the most sense. And of course, you make it like harder in that way, but you make it much easier just in the way that we've got dual wielding and we have Hunter's strength. Pups got shelved or canceled, honestly. I don't think that the developers are very interested in releasing pups at this point. Scavenger Karma, by the way, starts out slightly above medium level. I think it does that anyway for Monk, so that's something that we just needed to like take from there. But an interesting thing to note. Because, of course, each of the characters starts off with a global karma level. Monk starts out slightly above medium. Survivor is medium, and Hunter starts out with slightly less global karma for scavengers. You see that double backflip? Completely not on purpose. I'm glad everybody's liking the mod. There have been very, very few detractors. And even some people that hear, like, oh yeah, it makes, like, Rain World easier. But they don't exactly, like, look into it to know exactly what I mean when I say that. I kind of feel like... See, sometimes I have a problem getting to the next shelter. Oh, we can save here, okay. That will work. I definitely want to make sure I'm at least inside of Shaded Citadel before I die. Hunter is meant to be a reward, I think, by the way, Uul, for why you think that certain abilities never carried over to other difficulties. Interesting. I don't know if I'm okay with what just happened or not. It does use Monk as placement. I'm gonna have to see if I want that to happen or not. Because it doesn't make sense, I think. Possibly? It is replacing Monk on the character select. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That looks like the screen. That looks like the actual image file for this screen. Huh. I found a bug. Hey, Topic. How is it going? And if I didn't say, well, the developers very much want Survivor, Monk, and Hunter to be, like, very much separate. They don't want things to carry over. They have a much different design strategy than I do with, like, combining all three difficulties. So let's see what happens if we try and go back. Okay, so what's happening there is that I think that means that a room isn't hooked up correctly, which the only room that was added to Shaded Citadel as a region was the save room. One second, everybody. I am having very, very severe issues that I need to fix. Okay, there we go. That's fixed. All right. Region, shaded, rooms. All right. So SO1. Here is this. And now I gotta see if that is still hooked up correctly. Alright, so for the purpose of testing, I think that what I'm going to do is just so that we can continue, I'm going to just yank out the new shelter for now. Let me go ahead and switch this over to monitor so you guys can kind of see what's going on. So this is where all the magic happens as far as like rooms connecting to the other rooms. So this is the new room and the new shelter that we've created, which apparently crashes the game. So we just remove that for now. And I do need to, well, one thing I need to make sure is I actually get these rooms, AO1 and SO1. Save, close that. Only thing is that, oh crap, this is going to be a little bit tough to actually do, honestly. Because I think AO1 actually just still, like, exists in the game itself. Go ahead and delete that, and then we'll see if we can get back in. I'm pretty sure I don't even... I'm pretty sure that it's just the shelter that's causing issues topic, but sure, I will send you that. If in fact this is the right thing. Exception log, send this, drop that. And let's see if we can load now. I figured that would happen, honestly. Because I do still need to... Alright, here's what we're going to do about this. Verify integrity of the files. That'll set everything back to square one. How many people do I currently have working on the mod? So we have Topicular, who is our programmer. We have an artist who is doing illustrations for us, who is Sari. And we have a backup level editor, one Mini Skitty, who is doing some random stuff for me, honestly. They just kind of heard about the mod, and they gave me a few maps that they thought would be good to include. Thus far, they've only done two things for me. They made a couple screens in Chimney Canopy easier, and they gave me the shelter here that is crashing the game. Alright, so now that that is done, you'll have to forgive me, but I want to kind of black things out for a second here. Fairmont metadata. Then we want to change it so that shaded, wow, I am bad at speaking and like messing with files at the same time. I want to make it to where shaded doesn't have any level changes now. So that we can actually test like at least spawns. Okay, and I think this might work now. Possibly, probably not. I suppose we're just gonna have to see. Assets, dev tools, Modpack, lycanthrope, slug senses. Then we need to merge all of the easy mode modpack files. Place these files. Beastmaster errors. Really, Topic? I've never installed Beastmaster. I don't think anyway. Or did I? I'm curious now. Huh. Alright. Let's go back to this screen and see if we can actually test now. Please load. Yes, thank you. I just very, very much wanted to just test spawns today. Doesn't really matter to me if the shelter isn't working. Pretty sure that that was what the error was, by the way, Topic, since I yanked it out, and now we're actually able to load into Shaded. So the change that I'm making to memory crypts is small, but significant, I think. We are putting a shelter in the middle of memory crypts. I have hopes that that will mostly alleviate people's issues with the region. Because I personally don't find too much issue on the design side with memory crypts. And honestly, I find it weird that people have issues with it sometimes. So maybe I just need to see somebody playing it to fully understand. I could try going in, like, the bottom way, but I've never had, like, the bottom route ever, like, work for me. Even with Monk's Light attached. And I kind of don't want to die and lose karma, so we'll go the long way around. One thing that I never liked about Monk's Light is that in some ways it makes things harder to make out. Because it adds so much, like, fuzz to its flashlight. So I've often wondered if there's a different way that we can go about that, honestly. Something that I think is cool, but is possibly hard to do, is just adding, like, dynamic lights to spiders, so that spiders just glow in the dark. Of course, then you would still have an issue with platforming. That's something that I've got to remember, too, is that the difficulty is not just the spiders in this region, it's also just finding your way. The exterior was hard going through. Yeah, I actually have taken a lot of steps to fixing the exterior. Or so I hope, at least. There are a fair amount of spawn changes. Although one area that I still think I need to look at is where the cyan lizards are. Stay away, stay away. Just let me sleep in peace. Very lazy solution, you think? Well, I mean, a lot of our solutions have been pretty lazy for easy mode modpack, I think. Considering that a lot of stuff that we are implementing just exists in the game already. We're just implementing it into one character. What does the mod add to the game? Certain level design. Making certain screens easier. For the most part, the entire thing that it does is that it combines all of the abilities and all of the nice things from all three Slugcats into one Slugcat. So we have the quietness and the oxygen level of Monk. We have dual wielding from Hunter. And we have the spawns and lore from Survivor. As well as having Monk's Light. There is a spawn change, level change that is coming up that I'll show you all, which is the main thing that I wanted to test today, honestly. And I do so hope that it worked out, and that they did spawn. Ah, good, they are here. Possibly too many. I think I'll have like 2 spawn instead of 3. Nope, 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 no, 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 no. So dead. So fucking dead from goddamn spider tower bullshit. It was even climbing up. It's usually just in the pit. Our deer AI improved, so we are considering implementing Will's mod that actually fixes deer AI to a certain degree. Because that's something that this mod pack will do, is that we're going to add in some other mods that people have created to also make the game easy. Like we're implementing slug senses, we're implementing lycanthrope from fire. But farm arrays, for the most part, the thing that's actually been done is that we have implemented the wormgrass terrain mod that's on RainDB, which adds like a pole traversal method instead of depending on the deer. And that's the main fix for farm arrays as an area. Alright, let's see if I have the same bad luck with the spider tower this time. Almost. No food whatsoever. Which is actually a little bit interesting. I feel like there is a lack of food in this general area. Granted, we've got the water nuts there. I probably should imbibe those, but kind of just want to see if this works. Yeah. If I want that to be used as an alternative traversal method, then I think I'm going to need to level edit these rooms a little bit to make it possible to do. Stops timer when you were holding reindeer. Now that you've done the hot slonk mod, that is probably something that you can very much do, huh? Topic. Alright, so the 2 worms spawned in just fine, but I definitely do think that I want to add in some terrain above that one tentacle plant that we had a hard time with. Come on, eat the food, you jerk. Interesting, there was just turbulence, like, right there. God, can you imagine getting stuck down here because bad spear placement? It's a good thing that there's a ton of spears in this area. Just checking out some comments that have been left. I don't have enough time to get through this area. I do need to figure out, like, the food situation. Says that there's no problem with memory crypts, immediately has issue. Fortunately, I left a bubble. Is there any way, Topic, that we can make the monk light, like, a lot more sensitive, more defined to where darkness is? Because in an area like this, I don't think that it should light up at all. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Just absentmindedly going into the beast maw. Don't mind me. That's also, like, another minor thing that Easy Mode Modpack is doing, is that we are, in fact, like, fixing, like, very small bugs that exist in the game. Like, there's a couple of geometry fixes that I've done to, like, poles that, like, exist visually but don't exist, like, as actual poles that you can climb on. Topic actually made it to where your guide actually guides you in more areas now. Yeah, the Overseer. Background poles in the leg. So it doesn't actually fix like that. Like if it's on like layer 2 or 3, then those are just, you know, scenery poles. What I'm actually talking about is there is a pole in garbage waste near shoreline that you can see, but you can't climb on. And there's also one in Subterranean that actually has, like, the geometry, so you can climb on it, but you can't see it, and an opposite problem. So maybe the solution topic is in areas where I have an issue with it showing up. We add some light, which wouldn't make sense in the sewer, but you know. Hello, my Congolina friends. What a spawn. See, this is what I'm talking about, where, like, as long as you know that the lights will blind, you know, the Myros birds, and as long as you're careful in the tunnels, and actually using the tunnels, then you mostly won't have an issue with memory crypts. Which is why I think that the only thing that's really necessary is adding a shelter in the middle of it. Of course, this is me just talking as like a veteran and understanding all of this stuff, so I do have to keep that in mind for designing for new players. And honestly, you can actually go through this area, like, even slower than this and still not have any issues. I could even add, like, more of these plants, really, if anybody wanted. People felt that it was, like, that necessary. No, come back, my little friend. I want you. I want to eat you. Friend? Okay. Adding some light to Overseer itself? Possibly. Would be cool, honestly. In fact, I think that would be really cool if it doesn't already give off light. Okay, I'm gonna do something silly here. Not so silly. Survive just fine. Yeah. I think like putting a few more spots for the flash balls, for the flash bangs, would be a good solution if people found memory crypts to be too hard of an area. Of course, people have to experiment and like figure out that that is what happens, but I feel like a player can honestly figure that out. Oy. Maybe make it a little bit stronger. Topic. I don't know. There's all kinds of cool stuff that I think that we can do with light. So with the leg here, a lot of spawn changes took place, especially getting rid of a fair amount of daddy longlegs. There are 2 that are still in this area, but I believe that there was like 4 or 5 before. I think the reason to, well, you're right that there would be less reason to go to Moon, Topic, but even if we made it to where the light just, like, works and is good, there would still be a reason to visit Moon just because of lore and because the game directs you to her anyway, and she tells you, you know, a little bit about the world. Players will still find their way to her, even if they don't, like, find a reason to. Just because they're directed there. It is a valid concern, I think. But I don't like the progression in the game of just like Shaded Citadel being awful and almost impossible to do with the lower route until you go to Moon. Because you go to Shaded Citadel first. And after you go to Moon, well, I shouldn't say that you won't go back to Shaded Citadel, because you will. By the way, a lot of people, I saw a lot of people complaining about the white lizard that spawns here, so he's been removed. I don't know. There's a couple of things we could have done there, but it feels like a decent thing. Why not? This area's hard as hell. And there's one right here to keep us company. I think in this version of Easy Mode Modpack, there are the daddy longlegs where they've been removed. There's been a big spider that was put in their spawn place. So we'll have to see what shows up. There was a spawn in the next shelter area where there was a white lizard that just spawns in the room with you. So that was removed. Oh, I didn't get the joke. My bad, topic. Humor doesn't make sense to me. I'm slightly joking. Come on, eat the food. Eat the food. You can totally eat it. It's fine. Just you're just hanging on by a thread, but you can still eat it. Ah, damn it. Ugh! Oh, damn it. Every now and then I have an issue with platforming in this room. It's like one of the only spaces where grappling with these tube worms is even needed. They're honestly like so underutilized. I think if somebody wanted to make like a good like custom region, just make a region that like makes more use of tube worms. Because seriously, this is like the most underutilized like thing in Rain World. You can make an entire game just out of the tube worm mechanic. It might be a project that I'll look into, honestly. I've got easy mode Modpack to finish. And then possibly afterwards, it's a project that I'm very, very highly considering. I'm considering just making Rain World harder with a mod that I've got like in light development right now called Pain World. And then maybe I could look into the idea of creating a custom region where the entire idea is you traverse with tube worms. Yes, actually, that spawn has been removed. As far as the white lizard that is right outside of here. Because I feel like you shouldn't have to deal with danger immediately upon and exiting a shelter. It feels a tiny bit cheap. Pain World is fun. I want to see if there's possibly like a coder that wants to help me out with it. Because there's like exactly one thing that I would need, honestly, done. And that is that I want to remove the tells that mimics have. Whole mimics, you know? I want to make it to where you can't tell that it's a mimic before you're grabbed by it. And then I will actually just set out to, like, put a whole bunch of traps all over Rain World that expand upon just that. So this was Godseeker that made me put back this Daddy Longlegs. I actually took it out, but Godseeker thinks that this Daddy Longlegs is very dealable with, considering that there is terrain all over this place for you to be able to pass it. Which I still don't know if I agree with that. Like, in a situation like this, there's no way for me to actually get past this Daddy Longlegs. In fact, something that I honestly, like, considered is just replacing like the 2-day long legs that are still here with spitter spiders. Those being the spiders, the red spiders that are only in Hunter right now. Because in my opinion, those are actually like easier to deal with than daddy long legs. I considered removing this spear spot and just putting a pole here to begin with, so the players didn't have to figure that out. But I decided to leave it. Game development and mod development is deciding what to leave as well as what to change. And there's a lot of things that people will think that I didn't really like, that I will have considered, and players will like never know that I considered. The woes of game development. I think that we've still got the daddy long legs here. I can hear him. I always thought that this room was kind of cheap, just for having like so much room to fall below. Let me see. What are the chances of saving yourself? Oh, this is the final room before you just die below. Okay, he went over there. I do have enough food to save, so I shall save. And I think that I am done with this grapple bug. You have served me well, grapple bug. And I shall let you live. Ugh, I never liked this jump. This jump is so hard for no reason. Maybe just put, like, 2 squares to the left of it. Just 2, you know? Of course, I can also put, like, a spear here. So you can make it easier just on your own as well. It is such a terrifying spot. I'm pretty sure that I actually did die there my first playthrough. You want to make insta-death fall pit more visible for easy mode mod pack? I would be all for that. That's something that pissed me off in initial playthroughs, was never knowing if something was death or traversal. Pulsing black. Oh, I see. Yeah, that is very subtle for, if I'm seeing the effect that you say it denotes when an instant death fall pit is. Yeah, we could definitely make that, more pronounced. Well, you could. I would assume that it's a coding thing, more than it is a level design thing. Although it's slightly a level design thing, I think. Yeah, slightly. Just making it to where no pipes go down into where an insta-death fall trap is. Let me see, so can I go up and get to that? There isn't a way for me to do it by default, but I can stick a spear in. Then get up to it. God. I'm really, really tempted to change these. There's a lot about daddy long legs that I don't like by default. I literally just don't like their base design. Whereas spitter spiders, I can say, you know what? That is a well-designed enemy. Let go of me. Oh my god, no. I will kill... You jerk. That's what you get. Ugh. God, all I wanted was to bring a spear. And I wasn't even allowed that one little thing. I changed my mind. Kill all grapple bugs. He was also kind of glitched out, wasn't he, in the beginning there? Kind of just stuck in the terrain itself. Daddy longlegs are the most fair enemy, though. Hard disagree. Jerk. Alright, I gotta read whatever he's saying here. Alright. Problem with daddy longlegs is they are sound-based enemies, so they tend to sit around and do nothing. I really do like their design, but they are really only fair as given the proper room. Yeah. Yeah. Very, very much agree. Which is why I'm very, very tempted. I think I will, in fact, change those guys out for spitter spiders. Just the two daddy long legs that are here. I just think it's better. Instead of just getting stuck on the side of, like, a daddy long leg. You can't deal with a daddy long leg if it's in a bad position. You can deal with a spitter spider. You can kill it. It's almost impossible to kill daddy longlegs without explosive spears. Therefore, bad design. Especially if it being as impassable as it usually is. Here it's fine, because you got ways around it. But that just so happened to happen. It's RNG. I do think that that one's very, very fine. That one's fine. Maybe we should just make that the first daddy longlegs that you see. Damn it. Uh-oh. I didn't even see that guy there. Oh, come on! He's totally doing a spawn camp, isn't he? Oh, God. No. Oh, fuck. I almost had it if it wasn't for this goddamn orange. And I wasted my tools. All of my tools. Obviously, the solution is just remove all hostile enemies from the game. So funnily enough, there is a mod for that, but it's completely broken. It was created by Fire. It's called Death World, but it worked at one time, but it doesn't work now. Can't wait until we have Lycanthrope implemented into easy mode Modpack. It's one of my favorite mods, honestly. Fuck you. Of course, the only way that I'm going to be able to do this bottom route again is if I get another spear, which I wasted my spear that I already had, so that was dumb of me. You know what? I am gonna change it to where you don't need a spear to get in from the bottom here. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Not what I meant. Oh, it is so bad that you can't long jump there. Maybe we'll change that while we're at it. Careful. Careful. Fuck! Bad luck. Very bad luck. There are still a lot of changes that I need to make to my level additions, honestly. Let's go down here first of all. Then, like... I wanted that to make a sound. Did not make a sound. Excellent. You can see how the RNG like works out there in those cases. If you have a spear, if you don't have a spear, if you waste your spear, and if the Daddy Longlegs is in a good position for you. God, I'm so tempted to just turn them into spiders. Belly slide, I definitely have issues pulling off myself. It's actually only just now, like after 150 hours, that I can even pull it off like reliably. And I still don't like apply it. Just because there's very few spots where you actually are running for a long enough amount of time to belly slide. Let's do this smart. Let's go to the bottom route, because he's on the top route. Damn. Bastard got me. Yeah, fuck it. I'm tearing them into spiders for East Mode mod pack. Fuck what people say. Oh, you shouldn't do that. Nope, doing it. Oh, but spiders should only be available in hunter mode. Nope, doing it. Wonder what the next update will bring. In the year 2020. In the year 20XX, Rain World 2.0 comes out. There's one new slug cat, and no new lore. Have fun. See, people say that they are drawn by, like, sound, but it feels iffy sometimes, whether or not they'll go for something or not. Ooh, why can't I throw that without launching myself in a bad way? I can also take one of these grapple bugs, because in the underhang, it's actually going to be very good. Very good indeed. I am outfitted for war right now. Look at this. Look at this little cat. He's ready for everything that you throw at him. In fact, I am going to screenshot this. I'm going to screenshot that, and we're going to use that as the thumbnail for once the mod actually goes up on RainDB. Oh! I thought there was a grapple point there. Oh god. Goodbye, my friend. And nothing of value was lost. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. You can even just use, like, grapple bugs to speed up. Nope. Goodbye. So long, so soon. By the way, you all might think that orange lizards are very hard, but the way that we're balancing lizards is just making the dual wielding and the strength up. Like, that just about counteracts, like, most of lizards' nonsense. Yeah, you were right about grapple bugs, like, drawing them. It does, hardcore. Going somewhat slow. Might run into the rain that way. Let me see, how close are we? Oh wow, not even that close. The rain timer was, nice to us. Uh-oh. Ah, damn it! I tried to do a backflip, but that charge caught me way off guard. Something that I really haven't, like, given too much thought to and isn't changed, by the way, is, karma limits on 2 different regions. We actually haven't changed, like, any karma limits. And if nothing else, what we might do... this would be the laziest way of going about it, but we could just lower every single karma limit by 1. So that it's just overall easier to get into regions. Yeah, what? Oh, God. Grapple bug. Grapple bug, why? You have betrayed me. Now I have you, and now I've lost you. Great. Oh boy, we only have a little bit of time to do this right. Nope, I have time. Gonna die. Hey, what do you know? God, all that to just pass one daddy long legs. Is it obvious why I hate them yet? Isn't Monk Perma Open not enough? Well, the whole thing is that some people have a hard time just grinding up to get to those karma limits, because they're dying so often. You know, the karma limits aren't really an issue for me or you at this point, but for a player who's new to the game and just keeps on dying again and again. That's honestly like one of the biggest turnoffs for Rain World, like baseline. Oh god, is he stuck? Oh, Jesus Christ! Just juggling all of the things that I've got is what my problem is right now. Fuck it, I'll do it without the grapple bug. Run away, run the fuck away! Subterranean to shoreline. Interesting one. You mean as far as the karma level? Got stuck for a bit and couldn't get out. Interesting. I definitely think it's very odd when a hard region has a harder limit for getting out of it than getting into it. Which, for the most part, that doesn't happen, but I think it happens sometimes. Like, the limit should be very low, for example. Should be like the lowest level possible to go from going to Shaded Citadel to Industrial Complex. And I think it's not. I think it's like at level 2 or 3 where it's needed. Gate to 5 pebbles, for example, requires the player to have the highest karma level. You can and will die a lot in the exterior. Yes. That is... the grinding that you need to do, like, right here with, like, cyan lizards always kind of, like, got on my nerves. Like, the hard part is just getting to the 5 pebbles gate. You shouldn't have to grind to, like, get into there. And that's exactly what I'm gonna have to do, like, right now. Because I am at the lowest possible level. And I have enough levels, well, food, to get 2 levels. But I'm gonna need more. I think, anyway. Don't know how much exactly it is. When I make Pain World, make sure all the gates require the highest amount of karma. Possibly. So one thing about Pain World is I want the difficulty to be enjoyable. So, like, we've got crazy spawns, we've got, you know, all kinds of mimics around. But there are things that I won't do. Like, I won't, like, suffocate the player with, like, spawns. I won't just put, like, red centipedes and red lizards everywhere. Oh, what am I doing? Just sleep again. Yeah, the water nuts, I think... Like, I think that Iggy does, in fact, like, point them out, but it was definitely something I didn't understand for the longest time, was how water nuts were food. There's a couple things in the game, I think, that are like that. Like, even the orange slime, I can imagine somebody missing out on, and just thinking it's orange slime and not food. Like, there's this concept in game design of making things look like what they're supposed to be, you know? So for the longest time, if something killed you, then it was Spike. It was spikes, you know? Because everybody understands that spikes kill you. So it's not exactly a good idea to just bring the concept just out of your head and just, like, have nothing, like, connecting it to any other game. For example, in no other game do you eat orange slime. So a player would never be would never have that knowledge. So if you were to teach them about it, then it would be fine, but Rain World doesn't teach that concept. I want it. I will say it's kind of cool that cyan lizards aren't around. Whether that's just like a lineage thing or whether that's a hunter thing. Oh hey, there's orange lizards. Okay, so there's orange lizards here instead of cyan lizards. Cyan lizards only show up in hunter. So this area itself seems pretty okay for easy mode Modpack. Let me see, so what is the karma level that's required here? I feel like just making it level 1. Oh my god! Yeah, I'm changing that. That's dumb. That's stupid. That's just plain stupid. Like, the whole thing with karma gates and the whole thing behind their design is making sure that a player doesn't go into a harder area than they're ready for, you know? Which very much makes sense for, like, the beginning of the game. From, like, you know, outskirts to industrial complex. But if you've just gotten here, just baseline, if I have gotten to this point, then I have proven that I can handle this area. That's so dumb. That is so dumb. I can't get over that. So the funny thing is that I think Iggy did point out, like, water nuts to me once upon a time, but I still didn't understand. Like, I think I knew that it was, like, food, but I was like, how do I make this food? Is this food? And I tried to, like, put it in my stomach. You know, I didn't connect, like, water nuts to the water, even though they're right next to it oftentimes. Will I test the theory that long legs react to movement? Won't be able to. Starting from now. Guess we're not gonna see any more daddy long legs. I think I will make this gate, like, level 2. That feels fair to me. Because you'll lose all of your karma, like, getting here most of the time. And then you'll only need to sleep, like, once. And then you can prove that you are able to survive just by getting up here. Seems sound to me. Karma flowers actually don't spawn where the player died, I think. They actually just have spots where they spawn. As far as I know, I've always seen them in the same spots. What about when they just disappear? Then they just disappear. Karma flowers are just for keeping your current karma level. So they're just a nice thing to have, but they aren't, like, required for anything. Yeah, it sounds like a myth ool. Because it's a cool idea. In fact, I think there should be a mod that does that, if possible. Probably be hard to do, actually. Possibly. I wonder if you can, well, you can, I think, can't you, like, mark, doesn't it mark on the map where you last died? So maybe there is a way to have, like, just a karma flower spawn there, by way of a mod. So 5 Pebbles only saw a couple of changes. They're changes that I really like, though. I removed the first Daddy Longlegs that players normally see, because the room that it's in, I don't like in the slightest. There are still 2 Daddy Longlegs that you'll find along the normal route, and you'll have to work your way around, but I think that's fair because there's, like, this huge room that you have to, like, go along. Multi-room lair. Unfortunate impact? Unfortunate event? Whatever this level is that I would be going to the right, that's sealed off just because we're in basically monk terrain. So we're keeping that from monk. And you can now approach 5 Pebbles, the character, from the left side instead of only needing to come from memory arrays. You'll see it once we get there. I'll point it out. What I did want is I wanted some food. I need to get out of here. And now there is light. Yay. Oh, also, funnily enough, like, completely unrelated to Easy Mode Modpack, but one of the ideas that I had for Pain World was to give you this light by default, just start you off with it. But the reason for that is because I want to make all of Shaded Citadel dark. Just completely dark. Bottom to top. No lantern mice. Be pretty cool, honestly. It's going to be a ton of work from what I've been experimenting with. Where's the nearest shelter? Is it? I don't think there's one, like, above, so... Is it, like... I know it's, like, there's one down, but I don't know if that's, like, the nearest one, but I guess it is. Kind of want to save in 5 Pebbles before I die. A very, very strong possibility of doing exactly that. You want the final episode of Goblin Slayer and you're sad now? Oh, I can't wait for the sads. Oh, I can't wait for the sads. So me and the crew that I'm watching Goblin Slayer with, we have episode 11 and 12 to watch. Yes, we could have watched episode 11, but we were like, you know what? Episode 10 is a good stopping point, and then we can make it a double feature for the next night that we're all together. To watch the final 2 episodes of Goblin Slayer. Which, by the way, having said that, you know, don't spoil anything for me. Unfortunate development. So yeah, unfortunate development is completely closed off to Monk, and we've also continued that for our custom easy mode here. Karma Flower spawns on Monk Death. Does it? That's kind of cool. Not for the reasons that I think. The answer to this question only if the answer to it is yes. But are you sad just because, like, you're going to have to wait for more Goblin Slayer now? But if that isn't the case, then just let me find out for myself. Ooh, music. Don't remember hearing much music in 5 Pebbles. There should totally be more. This area is, like, way too silent. I hear... Oh, I didn't... Okay. I don't think I actually did remove that particular Daddy Long Legs. It's the one in the big tall room that I removed, but I didn't remove the one in the square room. Which I'm okay with, because I've often found that the one in the square room was kind of okay. Oh god. Just don't let me fall into the rot, please. I should implement the Monk Karma Flower spawn. Yeah! Yeah, I would be totally for it if it's not happening already. And that would also go towards just giving the player all of the nice things from all parts of the of all the other slug cats. All the vanilla slug cats, I should say. See, this is what I mean. This Daddy Longlegs I'm actually kind of okay with. Just because I feel like this terrain is, like, very well designed for the encounter. The one that's been removed is the one below this. This room. This room no longer has a Daddy Longleg. I could not be freaking happier, because this one pissed me off so much all the time. A lot of the mod, admittedly, is just getting rid of stuff that pissed me off. Let's just be honest for ourselves. And by default, that makes it easier. Like, one of the very first things that I did was just fix farm arrays so that you no longer needed, to traverse using the rabbit walkers. Because rabbit walkers suck. Baseline. Even with Will's mod. And I find their design lacking. God, that room is so much nicer now. Oh, that room is so much nicer. Oh, I love that. That is such a good feeling. Of course, you might say that removing, like, the Daddy Longlegs that I have makes this area rather boring. And maybe you'd be right. Maybe you'd be right. But there are still, in fact, 3 daddy longlegs, as well as all of the wall rot. I haven't changed the wall rot in the slightest. So any that exists in the game is just there. And you still have the, what is it? The zappers to deal with. Poorly designed for the type of rain that they're put into. I think that the thing that is the most poorly designed for reindeer is just the logic for how they work. Like, you're never really explained for, you know, what their food is, the fact that it is food, the fact that it calls them. You're just expected to figure out all of it. And I feel like that's too much. I've talked about all of this in great detail before, but, you know, you just end up repeating yourself on streams. The wall is unchanged. The wall is an area that I actually really, really love for all of its design, and I feel that it's pretty damn good. It has good save spots, it has good spawns. There is nothing that I personally hate about the wall, if other people do. And I do know that some people do hate the wall, but for me, no. I think that that's a fine area. Oh dear, what am I gonna do here? Those will just drift back. Oh wow, I can't believe I made that. Now this is the big room that still has daddy long legs. So there's one to the left there, and there's one up there. The only thing that I don't like about this is that very, very often I find that the daddy longlegs is spawn camping to the top left, where you have to go. So if at all possible, I might make their spawns like more to the away from this point. But we managed to pass it without very much trouble. Like I said, just fine. Totally fine with daddy longlegs as long as there's room to maneuver around them. I kind of hate them just because I can't kill them. And I guess that just pisses me off just because, like, I love killing things in this game. So when there's something that I can't easily kill, it's like, what the hell, man? Oh, I love the fly swatter, frickin' obstacles, hazards, whatever you want to call them. I feel like this one you can miss the pole if you're going like fast enough, and that can feel a little bit bad. And there's like a fly swatter thing at like the very end, where I often feel like that would really suck to just die to like a fly swatter thing like right before Pebbles. Why isn't there a pole here? Holy crap. It's actually kind of a hard jump. Maybe somebody should put a pole there. Does the Leviathan piss me off? For the most part. Just for the reason, the exact reason that you think. Just can't quite kill it very easily. So it's like boring. This is such a well-designed room right here. Just having that thing floating there. It's brilliant. There's some parts of Rainworld's design that I think are lacking, but every now and then, they really get some good level design going on. Hope this is the right room that I think it is. Yeah. Now, what's coming up is my level change. Which I think actually might be right here. Hello. And now we've made it to where, with this little pathway right here, you can actually enter into 5 pebbles from the left side. You do not need to go through memory arrays anymore. Does anybody watching know the difference between Monk and Survivor as far as the 5 pebbles encounter? So I'm curious if we've got the dialogue from Survivor or Monk implemented right now. It should be Survivor, but just to double check. And I actually don't know the difference off the top of my head. Cool. That's Monk, isn't it? Oh, it is Monk dialogue? Yeah. Definitely want it to be Survivor. Oy. I like that idea, Ool. The thing is that the reason why the airbags are the way that they are and where they are is because, like, the idea is that the deer beasts, like, actually picked clean all of the airbags. And that's why they're, like, below. So yeah, I think that this testing session let me know a lot of things that I still need to work on, and that I still need to do. It was incredibly eye-opening in some ways. Where do they grow? That I don't know. Don't know how they spawn, don't know actually what they are, honestly. it definitely, like, never made sense to me that, what looks like a smoke bomb is in fact food. It's one of my biggest criticisms. So we're just about at the end of the stream here. I was thinking about possibly doing some level editing, like on the stream, but kind of tired, especially socially, at this point. I'll rewatch the stream and take what notes I need to, for what we need to still change. If anybody's curious about how long until Easy Mode Modpack actually comes out, let's go ahead and say late January. I may or may not be able to meet that deadline, but I would like to. And I do feel like we are really, really close to having everything done. We have one more piece of art that is coming from our artist. Topic is still working on a lot of the mods. Gotta integrate all the mods. It's just that Topic is working on their mod marathon, and I've told them that they can totally just complete that and then work on Easy Mode Modpack after that's done. Ugh. I still have one tutorial room that I want to do as far as level editing is concerned. And then I have some spawn stuff to do, a little bit of level editing, I guess, here and there, possibly some of the stuff that I've said all throughout the stream. But the foundation for Easy Mode Modpack is really solid, I think. And this art right here, we actually have... You know what? Actually, I'm going to show this. Because I actually haven't shown this until now, but y'all have been so kind. So I'm going to show you the current art that we have for the character select screen. If, in fact, I can find it. Let me see here. Go here, go there, and then... There we go. There it is. So this is our character select art. Created by Sari. Wonderful, wonderful artist. They actually just started doing like fan art for Easy Mode Modpack, and I asked if we could use it. And then they just decided to do more art for us. So they are doing a character select art, sleep art, and ascension art. As far as illustrations getting replaced in the game. And their art is pretty damn good, if I say so myself. You're coming in at the very end, Nico. In fact, I'm about to end the stream. You can check out Borch Livestream archives if you want to see the stream in its entirety. This stream will be archived there shortly. But I am taking off for the night, everybody. So thank you all for watching. Look forward to Easy Mode Modpack. And I'll see you all later. Have a good night.